It's tough to drive across a bridge and realize that you're thinking about just driving off, to look up what the cleanest ways of killing yourself are.
What do you wish your dad had told you about dating and relationships?
I had no idea that my dad had very similar struggles with women, sex, relationships, and I still don't know about a lot of it. And it was frustrating because if my dad had sat me down as a teenager and said all of the struggles that he had in dating, that I would have been like, oh, it's not because you were a piece of shit and that's why you never got a girl to link up with you. It was because of a lot more external reasons. Going into a marriage with that air of like desperation or I'm not going to find somebody else, that definitely shaped my life from there in every dating relationship, every romantic relationship where it's been take what I can get. And when it's more than I think what I can get, then I lose myself. And I don't want others, I don't want my kids to fall in with that. Don't put those kinds of relationships, sex, affirmation ahead of the things that you need to do. And know that even if you're doing everything right, that some people will still just be piece of shit. And that's okay. That's just part of life. I just wish my dad had talked to me more about dating. You are worthy of being loved, that you need to keep on doing the work, continue to be that man, but you are that now. And if somebody else doesn't see that, you can't make them ever see that. You can't ever make them love you. You just have to keep on being who you are and hope and pray, but not let the overwhelming rejection that you'll face in life taint your dreams and desires to the point where you do settle for people who don't really have your best interests at heart, for somebody who doesn't love you back, for somebody who doesn't respect you back. Like, I don't want somebody else to have to go through that same shit. I want my kids to know about this. I think that's what I want for the next generation now is if they can learn from me what I wanted to learn and should have learned from my father, who just never really talked about this stuff, that'd be worth it.
When you think back to the darkest season of your life, what was going through your head?
I just felt completely abandoned the second that my life got messy. It was in 2021 that I hit bottom, and honestly, I was ready to end it. The only things really keeping me here were knowing that if I didn't have the few people who actually were there as much as they could be, that loved me, that cared about me, would hurt the most. I knew it would devastate them. I remember even looking up and out loud saying to God, if you won't help me, I'm out. You know where I'm headed. I can't do this alone.
What shifted for you in that moment of breakthrough?
It was not a defiance or indignance, but there was this confidence, this demanding confidence that I think that you can and should have in a loving relationship to say, I need this. I need this from you. And then there's only something that God, I think, could provide. And so when I said, I need this from you, it happened.
How did you see God provide when you needed it most?
I know you can do this. I need you to do this right now because you know what I want to do with the job. I want to honor you. I want to be a better person. And he came through those interactions that have actually kept me Christian when so many Christians have pushed me away from God. It was, I have this work that I need to do. And in order to do it, I need this help. And I know that you can do that. I have done that at other periods with other people. And the resounding feedback is usually no, unless it's like maybe a family member, but it's always like a give and take. And you weren't that way. You and God both weren't that way. It was simply, yes, I'll do what I need. It was a sincere, I see you need help. I can do something. And that's it.
I appreciate that, brother. What has Brotherhood meant for you through all of this?
To have Josh back into my life as though no time had passed, just simply being present is an underrated value and something that Josh puts out there quite a bit more than just about anybody else I've seen. As second of 5 kids growing up in a house always surrounded by people, it is easy to feel alone still at times, but sometimes it is just enough. But Josh being present was that little extra oomph that I needed and that stabilizer in an otherwise tumultuous life. The difference between a social life and death, we need to be able to work through things, speak out loud or think out loud And Josh did that for me. It is a process. It is not an end goal that you reach and then you stop and you go, great, I did it. And that's it. I think a very appropriate word is relapses. It could be something as subtle as affirmation in relationships, could be alcoholism, could be sex or sex addiction, like anytime. It could be pornography, but it's going to be just a daily, every day I'm going to try and do this a little bit. And when you have those relapses, it means so much more when you have somebody on your side counting on you, but also you don't want to disappoint. But when you have somebody in your corner, when you have somebody on your team, when you're working on it as a team, you don't want to let the other person down.
What were the biggest struggles you were facing at the time?
Feeling like my divorce, that was not something I ever wanted, not something I ever planned on. Feeling like you've wasted 10 years of your life and 10 years of growth, putting your dreams and ambitions and desires on hold, working your ass off for somebody who ultimately didn't care and only saw you as a dollar sign in the end. It feels like such a setback. And so what I really had to reframe was, no, it wasn't a complete loss. There's a hell of a lot that I learned along the way. The relationships that I have now are better than ever. The relationships I've lost, they were never there to begin with.
What lessons did your divorce teach you about resilience and adversity?
Realizing how much adversity can build you up rather than tear you down is critical. And I don't think that I ever would have really made that realization if not for this. Realizing what adversity truly is, that it can be quite a blessing. It's how you approach it. It's how you take it. It's a process. It's every day attacking it a little bit, knowing there are going to be setbacks, but just continuing on. Like you take 2 steps back, take 1 more step forward, 1 more step forward. Do your best. And that sounds so cliched. If for sure there's no bridges to build back with that relationship, then that's life. Learn what you can from it, move on. Have that friendship, that brotherhood through the derelict with Josh, through maybe a church, maybe it's even some guys you play pool with or something, but carefully and with discretion, try to build up that trust, confide in them something small and build up from there. See if there's some reciprocity. You can lay roots and have more deep friendships.
Why do you think it's so dangerous for men to do life alone?
Because so many of the good guys that I've found who are devastated have everything wound up in their wife, their kids, and a very small little bubble that is, they hope, more well protected. But when it becomes their entire world, then their life easily falls apart. And so having that support network around, having that network of friends that really are deep and meaningful that you can say, hey man, I'm hurting, or hey man, this just happened and I'm still processing, or I don't know what to do. I need some help. And it's totally fine to say, I don't know what to do, but it goes back to being present. That is sometimes most helpful, is just knowing, hey, when things get tough, I'm still going to be around. And so that I think is critical.
How would you say this brotherhood has changed the way that you live today?
That is what Josh and the Derelict Tribe are all about, is being that kind of guy for others and reframing our mindset with relationships, with finance, with life, as we're going to deal with adversity. It's going to be there. It's constant. And this is part of the process. So why the heck do we do this alone? Why would we ever think that we're capable enough on our own? I think more men should join the Derelict Tribe because we are building up the change that we want to see in the world, where men can be open, vulnerable, learn from each other, but also in that derive strength, confidence, honor in being upright men, in being supportive men, in learning and growing even more as we learn and grow from each other.
Looking at your life now, what gives you confidence for the future?
You saved my life. Whatever my life might have been, it won't be that anymore, and I'm grateful for that. It's tough to drive across a bridge and realize that you're thinking about just driving off, to look up what the cleanest ways of killing yourself are. But it all just comes back to presence, man. You being present for me being present in my own life, trying to be present for you as much as I can. Because I do have an overwhelming confidence, just like when I told God, you need to do something for me or I'm ending this now. I have every bit as much confidence that my life is going to be better for all of this that I've had to go through. I have no doubt that my life is going to be better, whatever happens, than the life that I was headed towards and the life that I was living. So thank you for that.
You're very welcome. If you're a man who's tired of doing life alone and you're ready for a brotherhood like this, come join the tribe. That's what it's here for. Comment Brotherhood below.